Hey everyone, welcome back to Portal Reloaded. We are here in the final test chamber 25. And we're going to dive right in and see if we can solve this last puzzle. It looks to be quite an impressive one. Lots of moving pieces, lots of contraptions and bits and bobs to work with. But we'll take it as the disembodied AI voice told us. We'll take it one step at a time and see what we can do. So, this button will release a cube, which then floats through that tube over to there. Okay. This requires a laser. That's got a number 2 on it. That's a laser redirection cube, looks like. Let's go ahead and grab this for now. Oops. There we go. All right, so we've got our cube. What else do we have going on here? We've got chamber 1, or at least dice marking 1. Can't get through this gate. I think I understand. So we have to get through gate 1, gate 2, gate 3, and gate 4 to get to the exit. So solution 1 is here. Where are we going to get a laser from? Looks like we're going to get it from up there. So we can kind of fairly easily go ahead and grab that, push that through here, redirect the laser. There we go. There's step 1 done. Right? Simple, straightforward, easy. Easy. We're gaming now. So let's look at number 2 now. And at some point we're going to need to go check out what's different in the future. We've got another laser grid here where I think we need to hit it along this line. So what that means is we probably need to go to the future and get the future copy of this thing. And then redirect these somehow. So how would we do that? We'll also need the laser to be going through a time gate for this to work, so that we have 2 copies of the laser. So let's see. Where can we... Yeah, right here we can have a time gate pointing into itself. So we can get version 1 over here. Or can we? As soon as we disrupt it to point it at this, then it's not going to be coming out of the future gate anymore. It's not coming back into itself. Oh, we probably need to aim it through the gate, maybe? Yeah, I don't think that's it. Wait, we've done this before. How do we get a second copy of the laser? So it's coming out of blue and going into green. Do we fire it in the future? Yeah, we fire... No, that's right. We fire it in the future. Okay. So... should be coming out of blue and going into green. But that would mean... Wait a minute. Hold on. Then why isn't it... why aren't we getting a second copy of it? So let's point this over at that. Oh, that's not going to work. Huh. Interesting. But why isn't the future laser coming out? Future laser... Why is future laser not firing? Future laser was never firing. Okay. Well, we're off to a good start, folks. I'm already kind of puzzled. How do I get 2 copies of this laser? Something to do with the time portal. And we need to be down on this level, too, at some point. So wait a minute. The orange portal accepts the laser's input, right? And then what? Then down here, so it's got to be one of these two walls where we put this laser. I guess we pop this here. Let's put the blue one. Pop this here, so then it points back at itself, right? Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure we've done this before. I'm not sure how to figure this out. How do we get 2 copies of the laser going in 2 places at once? Because we can do that easily enough, but then what? How do we get... Is there another laser that I'm not seeing? Or... What is that? Is that another laser input? I think it is. How do we do that? We need to fire the laser such that it comes from... It passes through the future and back again, I guess. Huh. So wait a minute. Let's say we do something like this and then go through. We can kind of pop that something like that, and then, I don't know, pop another blue one somewhere. Blue one we don't care about. So directly in front of this, there's no panel, and directly in front of that, there's no panel. How do we do this? Then there's the light bridge, which we're not using. How did that get turned on? Is that only on in the future? It's yeah, it's off in the past, or in the present. Okay, so the first step of this puzzle is figuring out how to get 2 lasers, and I don't know what the answer is. Because any cube that we place in the laser's path redirects it once. And we can't really have it doubling back from the future, because if we just shoot it... Like, let's say we... Where's things facing each other? Here? So if we do this... Then it goes... Alright, so now there's two lasers, but they're in this timeline, in the future. So in order for this to work, we'd have to have one of them aiming over there. And that would have to come from an angle, which we can't get. Can we light one up in the past and still... No, we can't light one up in the past, because as soon as we redirect it, then it's not going through that anymore. We can only point the laser in one direction. So we have 2 lasers in the future, but I don't know how to use them. Certainly we can get one thing going. Because we can do this. Or we could send it back through. Where's the way to do this so that we get both lit up? Like that? There's number 2 lit up, right? But then what? Then we still can't get past number 1. Take it one step at a time, he said. He said take it one step at a time. I'm confused. I don't see how we do this. Because I can't bring the past cube to the future. If this laser were working in the future, then we could use this kind of technique to bring a copy of the laser back to the past. And then we'd be okay. Then we could figure it out. But we cannot bring the past cube to the future at all. And bringing this to the past doesn't help us, right? Because we only have one laser here. So why is that powered off in the future? Can we power it on? I don't think so. It's just sort of off. Not getting through this door, right? This is, yeah, that kills us. Okay, that's an instant death kill field. So that's not it. We don't just, like, power through. Well, one step at a time, right? You gotta get the cube back. We could push the cube up to 4, but we don't really need to right now. Anyway, we need the cube for now. How are we gonna do that? How are we gonna have all of these things triggered at once? Oh, wait a minute. There's a time gate up there. There's a way in and out up there. So hold on. All the laser gates are powered here as well. In the future. I wonder how that's going to help us. So maybe we should just go back to step 1, right? So step 1 is we put a portal down. Put a second portal down. And put the cube here to point at step 1. Right? There's step 1 done. So now we can go through the first gate. Yay! We can go through the first gate. We can get up here. Is there anything up here that we didn't see? No. It's just the first gate. We can see the time portal only, but we need to press the button to have that work. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I think this is a case where we'll have 2 time portals. The one from the gun and the one from the button. So that is interesting. That may give us something that we didn't have before. We'll have to wait and see if that's right. Because if I shoot up there, yeah, nothing's happening. Okay. So now how do we solve gate 2 without disrupting gate 1? Is there any other way to get a copy of the laser? It's going through the orange portal, out the blue portal. I really don't see a way. Can we set anything up so we can bypass gate 1? No, I don't see a way to do that either. There's no way to kind of drop ourselves over there. Maybe we can get straight past 1 and 2 with the push field. If we can we float ourselves somewhere with that? We could float up. We could do that. So like if we put that there and here, the number 1 laser goes down, but we can float up and see what we can see up here. We can also get burned by the laser probably. That's kind of interesting. There's it's hitting a great field. Let's see, does being up here do anything for us? Well, certainly our head is going to push number 4 and light this up, I guess. Or maybe it's not. We're not a block, so we don't count. If we do this and throw the time gate there, now we have 2 copies of the laser, right? We have 1 going through. Pop that down. Does that do anything for us? No, not really. Nothing's changed here. I also can't quite remember. How did we get 2 copies? We had to have two things facing each other, right? So yeah, we move the time gate here. Or we do this on the other side. Hold on. We moved the time gate here, and then we had the laser coming out of there. And then over here, we had 2 copies of the laser because we had the orange one as well. So then we could do something like this. Wait a minute. What if we did that in the present? What if we just placed it there? So that it will be there. Right? So if we just kind of place this here. and then go through. Is that kind of... Did that light up in the future? That did light up in the future, but that doesn't really help us because we can't leave it there and have another copy of it. As soon as we touch this, like the past one is still there, and we can bring this through, but we only have one copy of the laser here. Maybe we can time the gate. Maybe we can gate time it. So like we put the blue portal there, right? We go through gate 1. And then we put the blue portal there and we can go through gate 2. Okay, wait a minute. That's progress. There we go. That's progress. So now we can activate this, and now we have another time gate at the same time, right? As we have... No. It won't let us have 2 at the same time. Interesting. Okay. What does this buy us, being here? Nothing. Well, it probably buys us something, but I don't know what it is yet. Why do we want this gate? This doesn't really... I don't see what this buys us, having a gate, having a time portal here. But hey, at least we have an idea now. How do we get through... How do we get from time portal 1... Or how do we get through gates 1 and 2? We do them in sequence by placing the cubes and then moving them. So, now the question becomes, what can we do... to get time portal 3 going? Let's get a naive solution for gate 3. Let's take a look at that. What does a naive solution look like? How would we redirect? How would we get a laser there? It would have to be angled from somewhere up high. How would we even do that? Would we move a cube in a loop so that every couple of seconds it kind of like redirects the laser into that, maybe? Like if we had a portal loop like we've had before. So like let's say the blue portal's there, or let's put the blue portal's there and the orange portal's there. Right? No. We want it right about here. Let me get out of this. That's still no good. What about like that? And then we drop a... Now we drop a cube. Will it, as it travels, redirect... Is that the right height even? I don't think it is. Hold on. Let me get away from it a bit. No, it's not high enough. So that wouldn't work. How would we solve that? Wait a minute. There's a panel up there. Is there one on the other side? No. What can we do? How do we... So I suppose... Hold on. So blue portal's there. Orange portal's here. I mean, that gets the laser inside the tube. It's moving the wrong way, though. How do we solve this one at all? I feel like the trick is somehow having the redirect cube inside a moving portal of some kind. But I don't see how to position both the portal and the laser. Can I put a green portal there? I can. That's interesting. We haven't done that before. That gets us a laser in the future, I guess. If we want that. Let's not do that. Let's put the blue one there. That puts it real close. So that if we could get a cube there, that would kind of be in the right direction. What can we do? We can move it Move it there, maybe? And then... I think that's the right height. Let me check. Is that above it or right in front of it? Can't tell. It's pretty hard to tell. I think it's a little bit high, actually. But it sort of doesn't matter, because how would we ever get a cube there, right? Maybe... Huh. We have ideas that we can get past gates 1 and 2, and then we can have a time gate there if we want one. How would we get a cube aimed... How would we get a laser aimed at that? I feel like it'd be tough, because even if we could float a cube inside a tube right in front of that with the laser shooting at it, like the cube kind of rotates depending on which direction it's facing. Maybe it settles out at 90 degrees. I guess we could find out. Let's go to the future for this. And we can't go to the future. Everything's broken in the future. Well, we can get a replacement cube easily enough if we need it. So let's drop this and take a look. So when it's in here, is it exactly? It is exactly where we want it. That's interesting. So if we did something like that, so that it floats in front of the laser beam, does it ever point? Yeah, see, we didn't get the height right for one thing. Can we lock it in right in front of it? Hold on. Is it being pushed down? Yeah, it's being pushed down instead of pulled up. Ugh. And then we still have the problem of what to do about the laser. Well, that's kind of an interesting way to solve this, right? It kind of comes down and solves that way. But that doesn't help us with number 3. Can we? Is there a way to reverse the polarity here? This just drops a cube. Can we reverse the is there a button somewhere that I missed? Some way to reverse the polarity of the tube? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So it's always going to be going just the one direction. Huh. Well, I'm still stuck. I'm still stuck, guys. If you couldn't tell. What's the trick here? What am I not seeing? There's some kind of mechanic or something that I'm not seeing. It's like, it's maybe something to do with these raised portal edges here. Like if I throw the blue one there, and the orange one there, and then the time portal there, right? So now that's going, what, 2 directions? Does it kind of freeze in the middle of the... Is that at the height of the laser? I think it is. I think that's at the height of the laser, maybe. Let's see what happens if we drop a cube into this. Does that do anything useful? Because those portals those panels sticking out makes me think that they're for something. So this will go through here ever so slowly. And then it's kind of fighting because it's in 2 streams at once, going opposite directions. But as it gets into there, then what happens? Oh, it's higher. It's actually higher. And what happens when it gets to the edge here? Does it hover? It gets destroyed because it's trying to go to the future. So then what are those panels for? I mean, we can... I suppose... Yeah, we could do this, right? We could solve the 3rd one by ourselves. So let me get a cube. As soon as it goes through, I'll grab it. Okay, come on through. Grab you. Now we'll move this so it pushes us up. So we can go up to the laser, I think, and solve it ourselves like this, kind of. For a second. Kind of redirect it for... Yeah, I couldn't even get it. But you saw what I was trying to do, right? I thought maybe I can kind of like redirect it there. I guess we can get that going. What does that do? That opens an exit. One of the buttons we need to exit. It doesn't really help us. I mean, we sort of already knew how to do that. What I can't figure out is how to solve number 3. And I don't even need the real solution. I just need a naive solution. And at the moment, I cannot find one. The cube doesn't allow us to angle things upwards, only left or right. So it has to be at that level in order to work at all. That panel was too high, right? Kind of redirect back and forth. And see how it's like angled now? It's also too high. What about one lower? Below the panels. Is that in the line with the laser? Now that's too low. Interesting. So what if I do somewhere in between like that? Is that the right height? Let's grab another one. Let's keep playing with this. So like half height between those. I can't tell. So that'll go through. Will it at any point solve number 3? And what happens when we solve number 3? Okay, so it's pointing entirely the wrong way. So that's no good. I don't think floating it into the laser is the answer. Somehow. Unless... What does that do again? I don't remember what this does. Or whether we tried it. So that'll come along here. It's not even in the right path. Somehow. It's too low. It's pushing against the grate. Can we move? That pushes it out. It briefly intersects, but just doesn't send it where we want it. So yeah, I'm a little bit stuck on this one. Got to figure out how to get that laser somewhere useful. So like we already know we can bring it down here and have access to it here. But we can't point it up. So that doesn't really help us. Maybe I'm onto something with floating it through a tube in the right way, but I just haven't figured out what the right way is. Because it's basically parallel. It's basically parallel to, it's on the same level as the output. So if we could get something angled the right way to float directly up, and I guess we could. But the problem is then the laser goes away, right? So we can float it up that way. So as long as we're kind of aiming at 2... Wait a minute. If we're aiming at 2, shouldn't it hit 3? Hold on. If we aim it at 2... It should hit 3, I think. Briefly? Yeah, ever so briefly it hit 3. How do we slow it down? And then it goes to 4. So that would be part of the solution, I think. The timing would be really rough, though. And I don't know how we get... I don't know how we get... I don't know how we get through 1 and 2 and then set up for 3. Unless 2 is... Wait a minute. 2 could be sitting right there as part of its solution. Okay, hold on. So if 2 is sitting right here as part of its solution, so that when we fire out, it hits that, right? So we want to move... No, that doesn't work because we want to move... We want to be able to shoot from there to get the second one. And we can't do it if... Well, I guess we can go like that. Wait a minute. Blue and then orange. That does work. Okay. Right? Yeah, that works. Okay, so orange is there. And then now we go to the future, grab another copy. Come back. We move orange over to here. And put future cube here. Right? Okay. So we get through. We get through 1. We shoot the orange one over there to get through 2. Then we change both portals so that it floats up and briefly enables 3. I'm not sure what we need this for, but okay, let's turn it on. So blue goes there now. And you go up. And you ever so slightly open up this gate for us. We can dash through. Come on. Did it miss? It was on for a second, wasn't it? Let's move orange and try that again. Let's see. Yeah, it's not happening enough. It's too fast. Is there a way to reverse it? Hold it in position? See it like it flexes. It gets it for just a second. That's not enough. And then it does number 4. So I think we're onto something here. We're very close. But we're not there yet. We need to get it to stay... Now, how does this help us? Coming to the future here. Does it help us? I don't think so. Not sure why this is here yet. Can we slow it down somehow? How would we slow it down? I guess if we pushed it both ways. And now we've lost it. Dang. I really thought we were onto it there. Thought we were close. I feel like we were close. Okay, so we can get through 1 and 2 just by redirecting the orange portal. There's 2. And then for 3, we need some way to hover it in place there where it stays long enough for me to get through. Because I thought maybe, I guess I thought if it flickered on there for just a second, that would be enough. That would be enough for me to flip through, but it doesn't hold it long enough. It's not there. So we just get this little itty bitty section where it's kind of flexing. And then it goes up to 4. So how would we hold it in place? And what is this for? What does this get us? We come over here and do what? Nothing exactly? Not sure why this is here. I think it must have some kind of something to do with the solution, because otherwise it wouldn't be here. I guess it's a way to pull the portal, the green portal, away from wherever you have it, but that you don't really need that. You could reshoot. So why do we want a portal here? What could go through here? Could the tube go through here somehow? Not that I can see. There's nothing over there, but that we could have it come out of, and to come into here. Man. So close. If we could hover that for a second right there, so that we could get through 3, then we would be through 4, and we would be done. Because it's already doing 4. But, yeah, nothing doing. What is this time portal for? Don't know. Can't figure it out. There's no way to redirect anything to point into there, because it'd have to be directly across from us. Everything moves in a straight line. There's no real curves. It would be one thing if we had a second portal, but we don't. As soon as we make a second portal, this one disappears. What do we want to come here through here for? Why do we care to come through here? Like, we can't. The only thing we can do is drop down, right? We could shoot a couple portals around and do something like that. But what does that get us? Not sure. Just not sure. Am I missing something? Am I forgetting that there's some way we know about to have something hover in place or spend longer at one point? Maybe I should just try this. Maybe I just try and, like, force my way through right when it... No, I just died. So that's not the solution. So let's see. It does... Is it still aligned correctly? Curious question. Yeah, it's there for like a split second. How do I use that split second, or how do I arrest that movement, that momentum? I've seen that it moves slower after it goes through a portal, I think. Now that definitely bounced on the ground. I cannot imagine it's aligned anymore. Unless there's like, yeah, it kind of auto-corrected. That's forgiveness. Appreciate that. You kind of slide it back and forth, but it's not the right height on those portals. And now it's done. Well, I'd sort of hoped to do this last puzzle in one episode, which is why I let this one run a little long, but I can't figure it out. We've made good progress. I mean, we're close. We have 1, 2, and 4 solved. It's just 3 that's kind of stumping us. So I'm going to take a break here, and when we come back, I will either have solved it or given up and looked up the solution, and I'll let you know which I chose. Until then, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Take care.